Travel Radio Australia. We are on the Gold Coast in Australia this month, and I'm with a very interesting person, Jane Rushton. And Jane runs the International Netball Festival, and that's soon to be going up from Australia into the South Pacific region around this area. Jane, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Jeff.
Now, Jane, tell us about this festival. It involves a lot of people, and it's a very big event.
Yes, it is. So the International Netball Festival is a 9 to 10 day tour. We run them in the Gold Coast, Australia, Fiji, and our inaugural one is Samoa, coming up in April 2025. They play netball for 3 to 4 days, and they bond with all the teams. So it's about blending communities and families and netball and culture together. And it's been a very, very big success since 2012.
And how many people are involved? You've got teams from all over Australia and all over these countries. It must be a very big organisational thing to do.
Yes, people come from Australia, New Zealand, Fiji, Samoa, Singapore, Hong Kong, Malaysia, UK, South Africa, and we'll have up to 800 people actually at the event. We'll take a couple of hundred people on the 9-day or 10-day tour with us. And then some teams come and do play only as well. And about bringing all the locals together in the Pacific Islands, what we do is the teams go and give donations. They help sponsor a local, say a Samoan or a Fijian team to play because of course exchange rate isn't great and it's a third world country. So, and I also run a charity called the Fiji Youth Charity.
And tell us about that charity.
Oh, it's just a beautiful giving back charity. I've been travelling to Fiji for 55 years, for a very, very long time, from a very young child. And it's about giving back to the netball community. So we take over netball uniforms, bibs, sand shoes, bummers, socks, and then training equipment and netballs and whistles. And every time we go, every team will bond with a team, and then they will take donations to that team as well. And then we've got the one that we actually run events here as well. So we'll have an International Netball Festival Fiji Youth Charity event, and we'll raise funds, and we're looking at helping create more netball courts over there, and also taking a container over full of netball gear, and we've actually got some bikes as well, so that we'll be able to give some bikes to them as well. And sometimes we'll take also some health things that they need in the health benefit industry as well. So.
And Jane, what do the participants get when they book a tour with you for this program?
Yeah, it's a good question. They get a lot. So it's a 9 or 10-day tour, and on that there's flights, accommodation, meals, transport for the whole duration of their stay, travel insurance. In Fiji and the Pacific Islands, they go on island days. They do cultural experiences going into villages as well. They do mud baths in Fiji, for example. In New Zealand, they'll go to a marae, and they also go to a place called Ferrymead, which is a historic park for the early settlers. And it's got things like you've got to heat an iron up on a stove and iron, and we do the amazing race there. So they get dressed up in the early settlers' clothes that they used to wear. They see the blackboards in the classroom. They have to work the old fire engines. So there's all these things, amazing race. So we make sure they have always activities for them to do team bonding. They get lunches on game days. They get the 3 to 4 day netball festival. They get a souvenir T-shirt. They get trophies, medals, and most importantly, they get their bonding and a lifetime experience. You know, since doing it in 2012, I meet people, 10 years later, and the girls are saying, I still remember that's one of the best trips I've done in my life. I remember the people, and some of them are still in touch with people from that. So, yeah, an incredible, extraordinary experience, really. The teams that have been coming for years on the website, you'll see some of the great testimonials. Teams come back over and over and over again. They'll go to multi-netball festivals as well. Once I started speaking at these netball festivals as well, it was very interesting that community words are new matter, and every one of you are part of the community. The words you say or the words you receive affects a lot of people, because when you receive words that aren't so nice maybe, or they're really nice words, it puts you in a certain state and frame of mind. So when you go on the court, you're going to play in a certain way. If you get, words that aren't so great, and you're actually talking to yourself badly, going, oh, I'm a bad shooter, I'm not shooting really well, that's going to affect you and you're going to be taken off the court and you have to get back into your game head again. So, and then start talking nicely to you again. So it's all about taking community words and new matter on and off the court. So it's about treating umpires. I talked very much about you umpires. If we didn't have an umpire, we do not have a game. They are the game. So treat them with respect, and they're only humans. They don't always get it right. Once I started speaking about that, your attitude and behavior and your words, you make your team or you can break your team. So I'm very passionate about that and changing the lives that these girls go away and the coaches and people come up to me and say, you've actually changed my life just by saying that. The netball festivals are such a positive vibe, like really upbeat, lots of fun, music being played through the whole event, girls dancing and cheering on the sidelines. They're doing tunnels to support each other. So the bonding is huge as well. But most importantly, if people have attended netball festivals before or tours before, they're going to experience a very, very different positive experience. So, yeah, I look forward to seeing any one of you out there that would love to join the tour. Come as a team. We take teams, but we do occasionally take individuals to join a team as well.
Well, netball is so huge in Australia, and netball has been world champions many times over, and New Zealand, where you're from, and it's a very big sport. And how did you get involved in all of this?
Yes, I'm originally from New Zealand, now been in Australia for 17 years, and my girls played netball at the local Northern Gold Coast Netball Association, and I was a netball coach, I was an umpire convener, I was a president of the Helensville Netball Club, and just fully involved in netball. And then we got into our Intersport Global Travel Company. I started working with my husband in that, and we got so many people wanting to come and play netball with schools and clubs. So we were doing independent tours, and I was going, this is taking a long time to get these teams playing with one team here and one team then jot around. And I asked them, would you prefer one big event, netball festival over 3 to 4 days, and all the teams come to one spot? And the teams that were coming said, oh my gosh, that's what we've been waiting for. So we are the only ones in the world doing this netball festival like this, like our one, which is a 9-day one. And it just took off. It just got so popular because the locals all get involved and they get to play international teams, and then the international teams get to play from all different places all together, and they learn new tips and tricks. And we run netball clinics as well. So we'll get like the Firebirds down here in the Gold Coast, and they'll come. We've had Griddle Tippett as the ambassador for Fiji as well. So yeah, it's been very, very successful. We just have people lining up.
And do you have any plans for expansions? I mean, I'm from Europe and I live in Europe most of the time, and netball is huge in Europe and especially England too, and the UK. It's massive, right?
Yes, well, it is. We are looking at Hong Kong. So Samoa is our fourth one this year that we're going in April. Then we're looking at Hong Kong to do an Opens only in Hong Kong. And we have been asked to go to Singapore as well to actually run one over there as well and actually take people for like Samoa tourism or something and Fiji tourism. Like they want us to go as well and bring the people. So the same as Singapore, same in Hong Kong. So it's about blending cultures and community together and through netball. And it's just, I mean, when I'm there as well, I also do inspirational speaking. It's a very positive experience.
You've been right across the South Pacific before, and what are some of your favourite places to hang out in there? What's your favourite?
Fiji is probably my third home, we call it. So we've got the Gold Coast, we've got New Zealand and Fiji, but I love Fiji, the hospitality in Fiji. I love the beautiful turquoise water. We locate ourselves in Vunda Point, and that's got beautiful accommodation there. It's very private, and the water is just amazing. So I love that. I love water. I'm a bit of a fish. And we play the netball at Lautoka Churchill Park up in Lautoka. Yeah, you get to know all the locals, and they're so much fun. You learn a bit of the language. You start to blend, and then you really get into the community to see what do they really want and how do they really live. And a lot of these teams will actually end up being on the back of a truck, and they'll say, let's come to our local village. And so it's lovely. And so, yeah, Fiji, I've been all around Fiji. I've been out to the other islands as well. and always taking something to give back there. So it was a dream to always give back to a third world country. Samoa's lovely too. I've only been there once. This is our second trip over to Samoa. And again, it's very, very different to Fiji though. The culture is beautiful, very similar, but quite a different country. But yeah, Fiji is my pick at the moment. Yeah.
Well, definitely one of mine as well, because I spent quite a bit of time when I was a younger man as a DJ on a cruise ship out of Sydney, and we went through the whole region there. And I also spent as guest of Fiji Tourism once, as guest of at Beachcomber Island, which is this beautiful, stunningly beautiful natural little island in the middle of nowhere, and it is very gorgeous. Now, how can people find out more about the International Netball Festival online?
So they internationalnetballfestival.com. If you just Google us, if you look up Netball Festival, or look up netball, we come up number one there as well. And you just talked about Beachcomber Island. All our tour goes to Beachcomber Island every single time. And I started to go to Fiji from a very young age, and my dad lived there. So I think that's created my bond there as well. So the internationalnetballfestival.com is very easy to find online. We've also got a sporty New Zealand app as well, which you can get all the information about the Netball Festival. Everything's live about if you've got a team that you know has travelled, you can jump on and see how they're actually performing on the ladder. And also on Facebook and Instagram, we're on there as well. You see we put all live games up as they come along as well.
Jane Rushton, how can people get in contact with you online personally? Because you have a number of got a live academy, you have a training programs. How can people find out about you?
Yes, so Jane Rushton Live is my business, which is I'm an NLP hypnotherapist trainer. And actually, I got asked to go to Fiji to talk as an inspirational speaker based on a journey that happened in my life. And it was really amazing to be put back on my other business to Fiji to actually start speaking there. And that led me actually to speaking at all of my netball festivals as well. I inspire people to community words and new matter. And that's aligned with my Jane Rushton Live Academy. So I run lots of trainings. I've got NLP, I've got hypnosis, timeline therapy. I do deep dive revives. So at the beginning of the year, you get deep dive. What do you want for that year? Get some good planning. And also a great one, money grows on trees. So I've got a couple of online programs. I have my app, so you can download my app, janerushtonlive.com, and I offer a lot of free tools for you to create more balance, bliss, and productivity and happiness in your life. And I bring that all through into the Netball Festival as well. So we've got hundreds of people at every event, and they can download the app for free. They can download ebooks that I've written for free. I'm an author. I've written a few books as well. I've got another one coming up called I Lost My Face, and that's based on the big bang that happened in my life when I was only 27, which has led me to do what I do with the Jane Rushton Live Academy.
Jane, thank you so much for your time on Travel Radio Australia. You're very much inspirational, and the International Netball Festival is inspirational for young women all over the South Pacific. And thanks so much for the help that you are providing to these young women and boys who also play netball in these wonderful places. Thanks for being on the program.
Thanks very much, Jeff.